On this episode of Pimp My Setup, we're going to be talking about your setups you submitted for tips, tricks, feedback, and much more. So if you're interested in that, then sit back, relax, and interact because the show starts
now.
It's time for the original setup show dedicated to providing you with tips, tricks, and feedback to pimp out your setup. Hosted by Matt Philly with new special guests every week. Coming at you live in 3, 2, 1.
This episode of Pimp My Setup is sponsored by Boomerang, one of the top plugins for Gmail. With Boomerang, you can schedule emails to send later, snooze messages, and get automatic follow-up reminders if someone doesn't respond to your email. Boomerang is an extension for Chrome, Firefox, and Safari that fits seamlessly into Gmail and is used by millions of people worldwide. There are both free and paid plans. You can get a 30-day free trial of Boomerang by clicking the link in the description. This episode of Pimp My Setup is sponsored by Inked Gaming Playmats. They sell playmats of all sizes with a wide variety of art, or you can even use your own custom design. All sales of their art give commission directly to the artist. They even sell wall tapestries to decorate your room. Check out the custom Setup Addicts extended mouse pads, which will be linked in the description, along with a link to Inked Gaming Playmats. We thank them for their support of the show. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Pimp My Setup, episode number 86, recorded live on March 31st, 2016. My name is Matt Philly. You can find me on Twitter at Matt Philly.
And my name is Nate Mooskies. You can find me pretty much everywhere at NMooskies.
Boom. So it's been a while since you've been on. You've switched rooms because you're in a complete different place. So tell us a little bit about your setup. We're going to quickly go through some photos and just kind of tell us, you know, since it was a fresh slate, what did you do?
Yeah. So I did a lot. I actually got a big countertop from IKEA and a couple of the Alex drawer units. Did a lot of cable management. Redid pretty much everything. I've got a 40-inch TV as my secondary monitor now, 34-inch ultra-wide curved monitor from LG. Did a lot of cable management. I got a futon so that I can, you know, hang out and do some console gaming every now and then. And then just added a ton of posters and just tried to make it as clean as I could without it looking cluttered. Yeah,
it looks really good. I love the right above the futon, those posters, the colors. It's really nice, really clean. And cool. Yeah, the desk looks great. Everything looks really, really good. And I know people always want to see how the co-host setup looks. And there you go. A nice photo of the co-host setup. So I like it. It looks good. What I really like, though, is that it's just like completely usable. There's nothing that like sticks out to me like, it's like, boom, right to the point. So very, very nice. So guys, I know you're here for the setups, and I just want to quickly let you know that we are booked up until episode 120. So yeah, today's episode 86. If we keep up with 2 shows a week, we're looking at like August or even later than that. So we have some stuff in the work, and if that goes well, then we will be moving to 3 episodes a week to kind of knock that down a little bit. But for now, try to get your setups in. Trust me, you want to claim a spot. But anyways, let's take a look at the first setup of the show, submitted by Zach. He loves to do graphic design. He's been working on a setup for the past couple of years, and he said cable management isn't the best. Wires coming out of the back of his PC, but he plans on coming up with an IKEA add-on that will fix that problem. But with all that in mind, how old do you think Zach is?
I would say he's probably 17.
17. He's 15. So okay, for 15, this is nice. And when he talks about like the PC cables, like I don't think that's bad.
No, because I mean, yeah, you're always gonna see them if you have your case positioned that way. But since they're not all very nicely cable tied together, I think it looks really good. Hopefully it's Velcro, just because that would be a pain if you have to like take one thing out. But I think it's super clean, and I think he did about as well as he could, considering he wanted to show the case right there.
Yeah, I mean, considering he wanted to show it off, like you said, I mean, that's the way to do it. Cable management is fine to see as long as it's managed, and it looks great. The desk works perfectly for him, you know, the Alex on top, and then the side shelves that he actually uses to store stuff. You know, I do think that possibly down the road, if you are staying in this room, like a new desk would really change the setup, because you'd have a longer a longer desk to put the PC on there and have it angled, and then maybe even put the TV above or something like that. But if you want to stick with that small desk, it works perfectly. My only thing is really like the above. You started to kind of show off your love for Detroit Red Wings, and then you just kind of stopped. Like, I don't see anything else on the wall. So do you agree, or am I just being that guy again?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird that it's like, it is something, it looks like it's autographed, but why put it on a shelf? Why not hang that on the wall and then get some other stuff for shelf to put on the shelving, like some pop vinyls or something. I'm huge into pop vinyls. I like them a lot. They're cheap. They're a great way to add some character to your setup. So the fact that he has a shelf there and then just has something sitting on it instead of having the nice poster up on the wall, I think it's kind of a cop-out.
Yeah, for sure. Now, what is one thing that you would change aside from the things we already listed? Is there something that like bugs you about the setup, or not really?
Nothing really bugs me, but I mean, I guess I can see most of his cable management is really nice, but you can see a couple wires coming from either his Xbox or from his TV, just kind of going diagonal across. Get an extension cord or something to where they'll lay nice against the floor. You spend a lot of time doing cable management on your PC, so why not take a couple extra minutes just to make everything look perfect? And the house phone kind of throws me off.
Yeah, and he's 15, so it's like, why does he need one?
Yeah, but I mean, exactly. There's like 12-year-olds and 10-year-olds with cell phones now, so
yeah.
I think you really need a house phone.
But yeah, I mean, overall, it is really nice. I mean, the second photo you could see a little bit closer. Second photo, Tom. That is the second photo? Oh. Oh, that's why. Yeah, I had them in a different order. My bad. Yeah, the first photo you can see like a little bit closer. It's just really clean, and for 15, that's something to be proud of, because there's a lot of nasty ass 15-year-olds. I'll just put it that way. But yeah, all right, let's go on the next setup. Next setup of the day, submitted by Tyler, and this first photo, it's low quality obviously, but this is like his before. He wanted to show me what he came from. Just disgusting. Really, I mean, there's nothing I could say that's nice about it. But if you go to the next photo, you'll see, it works. I mean, it's not the best photo quality. I guess that's one thing that hasn't changed over the years. But how old do you think he is?
I would say he's probably I'm gonna go with like 17.
Let's see. Why can I see? Oh, because he put it all the way down here. He's 20 years old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and let's see. Trying to see if there's anything fun about him. No, he's just basically talking about the furniture. So he wants to get a new desk, and that was like the first thing that stuck out to me, is because there really is. I mean, it is a little weird that he put himself on the side that he did, because the drawer is right there.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, like, why not put yourself to the right until you get a new desk? But I'm assuming there's some reason. I can't think of it, but I'm assuming there is some sort of reason. But one of the funniest things I see is on the whiteboard. Tom, zoom in over on the. Make sure you go full on the shot, otherwise you won't be able to.
This too.
Yeah, he said, what is that? 10K subs by the end of the summer, and a video a day.
Yep.
So that's his goals, and it also says follow your dreams. So guys, right there. From our man, Tyler, he's got some inspiration for you. And I hope that you guys are now feeling super inspired. You close the video, you go out, and you catch your dreams. But no, seriously. Let's see. Is this YouTube channel here? No, he didn't even link it, so I can't even give him a shout out.
So much for 10K subs.
Yeah, dude. I could have helped you out, man. But yeah, so what do you think about this setup?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely noticed the desk and how, if that's what you're working with, switch it to the other side unless there's a real reason you have to have it that way. And I when I first saw the pictures, I saw the old setup, and at first I was like, this is what this guy sent in. I thought that was going to be like on Setup Nightmares, but the after where he did, a lot of this stuff, it looks really, really nice. I think for what he's working with, he's kind of doing a pretty good job. Cable management's much better than it used to be.
Yeah.
I like, he seems pretty organized. He's got a little hook for his backpack, whiteboard and stuff like that. He seems pretty organized. I think it's a pretty clean setup, and I like that he's got the little chair mat down there on the carpet too.
Yeah.
And he vacuumed.
Oh, that's nice. That's a big difference from step one. I like that he also put the Pimp My Setup wallpaper on the screen. That's nice. I like that. And yeah, I mean, he didn't really show off his personality, which is weird, because he does have posters and he has stuff hung up on the wall. And you know, I wish he would have just taken like the picture a little bit higher up. I never understand what goes through the mind of people that take photos like these. Like, let me not show the walls. Like, yeah. Even though I watch Pimp My Setup and I know Matt likes when I have things on the walls, but whatever. It is nice though. The usability is there. It may not be the most comfortable with that desk, like I said earlier, but you know, you have your backpack hung up on the side. You have your Xbox in a nice reachable position. The computer's in a nice spot. It's really, I mean, it's a bedroom and it works and it's nice. And I can't really think of anything to knock you for other than the desk. That's really all it is. Yeah. But yeah, any final thoughts for him?
I'd like to see it again when he got his new desk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think he's doing that soon, judging based on his email. So hopefully you can send us photos. Just tweet us. We'll see them. But now let's go on to the next setup. Now, I'm going to be that guy. Submitted by Holly. That's definitely a girl?
I've never met a male Holly.
I know, but I'm so weird because I always do that. And then people are like, yo, bro, my name's Holly. Like, it's like, okay. So I'm going to assume it's a girl. 14 years old. I just gave it away because I read the email.
I would have been totally wrong. So.
Okay. What were you going to say, though?
I don't know. Like, I'm stuck on, like, high teens for some reason with, like, all these setups. So, yeah, I think that's a pretty cool setup for 14 or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know why. I was like reading it and I was like, that's the first thing it says. Like, I'm 14, so I'm just like 14 years old. But yeah, so she tried her best to manage the cables. Can't really do anything about the subwoofer and the Ethernet cable. Mostly plays PS4 and just started PC gaming. And yeah, so I have to say, for 14, holy crap, this is a nice setup. I mean, this is like clean. The accessories that you have are great. I mean, you obviously put a lot of money into this stuff. It's like a blank slate, though. It's like the same color as my bedroom wall, which is super nice, but there's nothing up there to kind of... I mean, to be a girl, though, it kind of throws me off, you know? If I didn't know the name, I wouldn't think this is a girl setup because I feel like them definitely... Okay, Tom, yeah, zooms in on the pink PS4 controller. Yeah, that's the only thing. Like, where's your makeup table? Where's all the stuff on the wall? Like, I don't know. It's a little weird to me, but besides gender, it's insanely clean. And the only thing that throws me off is the right speaker is just going in its own direction. It's like not dealing with... It's the other people today. It's just like, nah, I'm good. But what do you think about this? What would you change?
Yeah, the biggest thing is, I think, is just lacking personality. You know, at first glance, definitely would think, you know, this was a guy's setup. You know, if you're a female gamer, you know, definitely throw some personality in the mix. My old desk is the same desk, and it's a nice desk. It's height adjustable. I think she did good at cable managing everything. Yeah. I think that mouse pad is freaking dope.
Oh, it looks so good on that desk.
Yeah. I mean, if I can find one with red LEDs like that, I'm going to definitely scoop one of those up because that's really, really cool. I think it's a pretty clean setup. That right speaker, like you said, is just kind of drifting off into, you know, not anywhere where it should be. But yeah, definitely if you could throw some stuff up on the walls, put some posters up, put some kind of personality and flair that tells people, you know, that this is your setup here. These are some of the things that you're interested in, because I can't tell at all what kind of stuff that this person is into.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, what really works about the placement of your desk and everything, the one thing is it does look like it's overlapping the door a little, but I'm assuming that's not actually the case because that would be a terrible place to do it, and you would have learned by now that it doesn't really work. Unless every time she opens up that door, she just like slide her desk out a little bit. She's like, oh, crap. But I feel like that right wall is perfect for shelves. And like you just put some stuff up on there. Like, again, I mean, you like pop vinyls, I like pop vinyls. I think those are always a good way to kind of just add a little bit of pop. Get what I did there?
Man, that's clever, man. Yeah, never heard that.
Actually, I had that written down. It's the first time I was able to use that joke. But yeah, something above the displays would look amazing, even if you just got a big ass TV. Like, because I mean, when you're a PS4 gamer, do you really care about your screen size and the response time? No. And if you do, you're playing the wrong console. But I feel like you got to put something up there, and I feel like that's all I'm going to say for these setups today. But that's not what I always say.
TVs are so cheap now. Like the TV that I just added to my setup, it's 40-inch 1080. It's only 60 hertz, but if you're playing PS4, who cares? And I got it for like $205 on Amazon.
Yeah, that's
so, like,
crazy.
they're dirt cheap. Throw one of those up there, and your setup's gonna look way cooler.
Yeah, I actually got the one behind me. It was refurbed, and I think it was around $200. And I mean, it's perfect. There's nothing wrong with it. So definitely look into that if you, of course, if you want one. You don't have to. But anyways, next setup of the day submitted by Lorenzo from Italy. I can't make that up. That's like perfect. But anyways, Lorenzo usually plays PC games like CS:GO, edits videos, and that's about it. So anyways, how old do you think Lorenzo from Italy is?
I'm just gonna kind of stick with my theme. I think Lorenzo's probably 19.
16. So, 3 years off, no biggie.
A little off today.
Yeah, this setup is an assortment of different things. Got a little bit of IKEA.
Yeah.
And then a little bit of not IKEA, and then a little bit of bright ass chroma key green, to the zebra wall print, to some missing paint spots. I mean, the furniture is like all over the place. But what do you think about this? What's like the first eyesore for you?
The first eyesore, aside from the green wall, is that it's like he couldn't reach up at the top, and so he just like left a big white patch on the wall. There's just nothing really matches. A lot of things are clashing in this setup. Like there's a couple green accents on the front of his case, some super strange green carpet, and then that green wall, but none of it is really cohesive at all.
Yeah.
And then, the headphones are blue, the mouse is yellow, the chair is blue, and then we've got just like a random assortment of other BS around the desk that nothing really screams cohesive theme.
It's funny because like the wall, the ceiling's pretty cool, the way that it splits up, and it's nice. Yeah. I just feel like maybe that color scheme, if you're gonna have the beams be black, like maybe it should flow with the rest of the room. Otherwise, I feel like that's a harsh contrast to just do on your ceiling, and especially when you have that bright green. So I think it's not even a sense of, the setup itself sucks. It's just like the room around throws me off, because when you look at the setup, it's nice. I would maybe look into getting an extended mouse pad to kind of not have double mouse pads. And I mean, really, the desk, it's simple. You have what you need. The cable management's like, from what I can see, is okay. I mean, it's not the best, but like it's somewhat managed. Is that okay? That's weird, because in the far back photo, there's no guitar amp. If that's a guitar amp, right?
Yeah, it's I pumped up the contrast on these, and it looks like a sub or something, like a monitor for a guitar or something.
Oh, I'm also looking at a little bit older photos, because he sent update. Yeah, because in the one before, he didn't have that. So I'm like tripping out, because I see on Thomas's computer he has one. I'm like, am I like not seeing something? But okay, I see it now. Yeah, now that I look at it, the cable management's not really the best, but it's not it's not all spaghetti, so it's not awful. But yeah, I think it's just random.
I wonder if he's super short, because the angle of his monitors, like if I was sitting in the chair at that height, like I'd have to be 3 feet tall. Otherwise, I feel like the monitors are pointing down at me. I don't know. That's just a weird little thing. Like I hate when you have dual monitors and they're not like butted up against each other perfectly. It's just kind of throws me off a little bit.
Yeah, I think, hold on, I'm fixing my mic here. I think that the gap for any setup is never good, and some people try to justify it, but I don't understand. I also don't like the angling, like you said. It just is weird, because why, if you're sitting at that height, why is it pointing down? It's weird, and plus it looks like, are those, I can't really see, is that wall mounted? So is he, yes, that one is. So he decided to have it at that height and still pushed it down. I don't know, it's confusing. This whole setup is pretty confusing. I don't know if that's like a shelf above him for fresh drinks to grab, or is that for a display? Like, is that like his mini fridge? He just kind of pulls one. Ooh, nice and flat. I like it.
Yeah. He's like, they're going to kill me for not having any pop vinyls, but I do have copious amounts of energy drinks. I'm going to throw those up on the shelf and we'll call it good.
Yeah, no biggie. I can't really think of anything else to say, though. You have any final thoughts?
No, I think we kind of covered this one.
All right,
I think a fresh coat of paint and some adjustments to where things are at, and I think you're sitting a little bit better than you were, but it's not my favorite layout.
It's crazy though. Imagine just like a day of painting and just fixing the setup. It would look so different.
Yeah.
All right, this next one is crazy, and it's submitted by Colin. Let's see. My room is one that the colors can go with pretty much all the other colors of the rainbow. Okay. I tried my best to show that. Probably failed though. Just whatever. Okay. Wow, this email is kind of confusing. Yeah, no, there's really nothing crazy. Okay. Anyways, how old do you think he is?
I'm gonna say 16.
17, which still is just insane.
Getting close, but yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know what to say, because when I look at this, part of me, because he's 17, wants to find something wrong with it. Like, damn you, Colin, 17-year-old, your setup sucks. But I look at it and I can't find anything. Like, I mean, I'm sure I could come up with a few things, but like at first glance, let's
really pick this one apart.
Okay, well, let's have you do that. Let's start off with a nice shot to the throat.
Yeah. I ran out already. Yeah, it's pretty clean. Did he say in his email that like it's not a big deal? Because if I was his age and I had a setup like this, like I'd be inviting all my friends over to show them how sick my shit was all the time.
Yeah, he just basically said like, I'm a gamer, I produce music as a hobby, and I graphic design sometimes. And he also said, yeah, it may look messy, but I have a method with cables. He's just like nonchalant.
Oh, yeah. He's humble bragging. He's like, it's not a big deal at all. I mean,
yeah,
something I tossed together last weekend, but in reality, like, this is the dopest one of the day.
Yeah, seriously. And you know what? I really like the last photo with, I guess he made this because he's a graphic designer. Like, that's actually pretty cool. I should make a weight screen like that where the logo kind of floats around, says sit back, relax, and interact because the show starts. I mean, the show never starts apparently according to his image, but still, that's really cool. I like that. Nice work. But the setup, I mean, he's got basically 3 setups in one. He's got himself his quad display, his main hub, which looks awesome. Is that Yoda sticking out the back?
Yeah, he's got Yoda. The picture at night, he does have a couple different things than during the day. I saw like a Moto 360 watch box on the desk that he didn't have in other pictures. So I think they were taken at different times, but super clean. I can sort of see his personality just because of his accessories.
Yeah.
But aside from that, there's not a lot of personality as far as decorations on the walls. The paint looks cool. It goes with the rest of the theme. And everything's pretty clean. There's a couple wires that you can see here and there, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. On the left, you can see a wire coming from, I think it's the subwoofer down there.
Yeah.
And I think that's about as far away as you could get the sub from the computer without having to extend the wire. And then the house phone, I would say the house phone, man. House phone's got to go.
Hey, that might be his business line because
it's true.
He probably owns
high school parties that he's DJing.
Yeah, it's like, hey man, you could just text me, but I also have a house phone and it makes me feel important, so call me there. But yeah, I like the right side where he kind of has the laptop mixed in with his little DJ center, and that's pretty cool. I mean, hey man, for your age to be doing all the stuff you're doing pretty good. You're doing not bad at all. And I know a lot of people that would kill for this. There's people that are like double your age that wish they had something like this. So you're lucky. And it's crazy because I think this is his bedroom. And you see, I would assume that's his bed to the right side. You could see in the corner a little bit. And it makes me think that his bed's like a half a twin. And it's like, like he took up his whole room with the desk setup. But yeah, I can't critique you really. It's great. It's really nice. I mean, if it was my setup, there were definitely some things I would change. The red stripe in the wall, like it works for you, but it's not something I really care for. I would definitely kind of dress up the wall a little bit. Not anything crazy. You don't want to take up the whole wall with things, but I think right next to the TV on top, there's a lot you could do there. And I think you need more. You need like a DJ light from the ceiling,
Disco ball?
Oh yeah, well, disco ball, but like those lights, the beam ones.
Oh yeah.
That go and they move and it like does all the different colors. I feel like that would be cool because when you're working on some new hot tunes, man, you got to have the feel.
Gotta be tripping balls while you do it.
Yeah. Do some ecstasy and then turn on the lights. But yeah, let's go to the next setup. This one's interesting. Submitted by Prasoon. Prasoon's actually pretty cool. I've talked to him on Hangouts before. He's a good guy, and he just wants to know what we think. So how old do you think he is?
I think Prasoon is 14.
21.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
Sorry, Prasoon.
Yeah, close enough. I mean, not bad. So what is the first thing you have to say about this setup?
I mentioned it right when we started talking off air. This is honestly my favorite one, and it's hard to explain why. I think it's super nice. Aside from being able to see, the power supply for some stuff underneath, like if you chop that off and you look at the desk, like that's super clean if that's what you're working with. I think it has personality without being gaudy. It's a nice, clean, simple monitor setup, and I don't know why, but this one was my favorite for the day.
Really? Yeah. See, the first thing I noticed was the desk, obviously, and I agree. It is beautiful. I love desks that have hutches, and I think this hutch works perfectly for him because, like you said, he was able to kind of display personality without being over the top, and it works perfectly. He even has a little bit of empty space to put whatever he needs, which is really nice. I love how he hung the headphones. That just goes to show that he uses his headphones so often that it just makes sense to have it right there opposed to like the side of the desk or anything like that. And what's beautiful about this desk is that piece underneath that will hide, because your cable management is probably awful if I'm being honest, because you have the two bricks laying there. So I'm going to assume you just let it lay behind, and those are the little pieces that fall. So hang those up, even if it's just some adhesive on the back side of the desk. It will make it look like you're a cable management god. And I love that the Xbox is right there. It's super, super simple, really, really nice, but I think it's very effective. And I don't really think there's anything you could do. I mean, hey, those curtains I'm not the biggest fan of, but whatever. But I don't know, what would he do to kind of like take this to the next level?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, most of those types of desks, you can remove the hutch from them. And as cool as it is that his headphones are hanging there, if he took the hutch off, it would really kind of free up for a little bit more personality as far as being able to decorate on the walls. But he's fairly limited on space, it would appear. Because it looks like that desk's just up against the corner of the room. But yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty nice. I wish he wasn't using a Mac laptop to power everything, but I think it's a pretty clean setup. I like it a lot for what it is.
Yeah, I agree. And someone said, Grandma called, she wants her desk back. Okay, your grandma has an awesome desk. Like, this is one of those setups where you can't make that joke. But anyways, all right, so that was a quick one, but I definitely like it. I think it's simple, and like I said, it's effective. So let's go to the next setup submitted by Sidar. Now this one's funny. I find this one hilarious. Like, before you even talk about age, like the first photo, it's not awful, and the second photo, you're like, what the fuck? Like, okay. Anyways, how old do you think he is? I'm
gonna say he is 15, and I'm probably way off.
No, he's 16, so it's not way off. Yeah, not bad. Yeah, so the first photo, you look and you're like, that's not bad, that's pretty good. And then you realize that his cables are actually way worse than it looked. And that's why it's all about angles, guys. You got to take the photo in a way that doesn't, I mean, that was just like, that's what, like when you take your camera and you put it under your chin and take the photo. Like, that's not what you're supposed to do. And I think that's like the perfect time for me to say, get a Signum, because that is literally all you need. But, I always talk about that. So other than that, what do you think about this setup?
I remember when I first saw the first picture, I was like, all right, I mean, cables aren't bad. And then, I was like, okay, he took some time. He zip tied the cables going down the monitor arm. That's nice. And then I looked at the second picture and I just was like, dude, no, stop. And then he put I feel like the gun on the wall is ironic just because we always, get called out for when there's guns in the pictures. I think he's just like, here we go. But that cable management is non-existent at all under the desk.
And that's why, what do you think though when people say like cable management doesn't matter? Is this like the perfect example?
Like, yeah, how do you use that computer and not like tangle your feet up in that mess like and tear something off when you're trying to like get up from the desk? Because that is so bad.
I agree. Trying to think what else, like, and my mic here is falling off for some odd reason. Okay, anyways, I can't really think of like what to say because I'm so dead set on those cables. But like you were saying, he really tried to manage from the top. Like, is those zip ties going around the monitor arm, like you were saying. I mean, really, really nice. And it just goes downhill. And I think that's really all that needs to change in the setup. I mean, I hate the gun on the wall, not because I hate guns, but I don't hate guns. But what I'm saying is I hate that he even thought that would look cool. Like, that looks stupid. And the thing to the right, I mean to the left, makes no sense. I don't understand it. I am confused.
It's not even straight.
Yeah, and it's like overlapped by the monitor. It's stupid. It's pretty stupid. But I think you just need to figure the walls out and figure the underneath out, and I think you're gonna be golden. So, yeah. Any final thoughts for him?
No, that's really it. I mean, is his desk overlapping his bed too, or is that just?
Yeah, it's actually a new thing where you wake up in the morning and sometimes you just slam your head into the nice desk. It's fun.
I'll have to try it.
Yeah, it's definitely give it a shot. Anyways, let's go to the next setup. This one's very, very interesting, and it is also the final setup of the day. Now, the photos aren't the best quality, but I thought it was an interesting enough setup that I kind of forget about that. So, how old do you think he is?
All right, let's see if I can finish strong. I am gonna say 17.
Oh my God, he's 18.
Oh,
yeah, okay. Close enough.
Small.
Yeah, so looking at the walls, I think that's like one of the first things you kind of notice. He actually, I'm almost positive he did that himself, because he said that he does graffiti as a small hobby. Actually, it just said the graffiti on the wall's done by me. Well, look at that. He also sometimes snowboards because he lives in Utah, and he just wants to know that because he's actually moving to a dorm in the fall, so he needs some dorm tips. How is he going to condense this setup into a dorm? I don't know.
I think you can take everything that's on your desk and fit that in a dorm, especially if you're doing your dual monitors top to bottom, and it looks like the top monitor is upside down. Which is
because he doesn't want that bezel.
That thick bezel, yeah.
Which is really smart.
Yeah.
The only thing is, though, what I was thinking is most dorms actually supply the desk. And you have to use those are like the grandma desk. Those are pretty awful. So if you're constrained on the size of the desk, your speakers might not work. You definitely can't put your computer on top. But like you were saying, with the monitors top to bottom, you'll be able to make that work unless there's a hutch, which in some cases there are. You definitely can't bring the snowboard. I know you probably want to, but it's probably not going to work. But as far as this setup, don't you think it's super clean, just straight to the point and creative?
Yeah, it's pretty clean. I wish she would have sent in another picture just so we can get a complete picture of what is on the wall. Because it's either a ton of personality or it could be kind of strange and gaudy. But I like that there's personality there. I like the desk and everything. I feel like he's a little conflicted as to whether he wants a black theme or a white theme, but there's not quite enough of either to kind of make it a clear distinction.
Yeah, it's just contrasty for now.
Yeah, and then it looks like the LEDs outside his computer are blue, but the ones inside are greenish. It's a little bit strange. I think it's a good starting point, though.
I kind of get the vibe that it's like the galaxy. All the different colors and like you said, we can't really tell what's on the wall, but something makes me feel like it has to do with outer space. But I could also it's probably like a picture of like a guy waving his hand or something.
Yeah, it's a guy at a bus stop.
Yeah, something like that. I don't really it sucks that you're going to a dorm because you have this setup and it kind of looks like it's completely finished now, and you're now going to have to take it down. So, school's cool and all, but your setup, man. Your setup.
Yeah, I think if you are going to be going to the dorm, I don't know how loud you're going to be able to be playing music and stuff, but maybe some smaller bookshelf type speakers would definitely help save some space too.
Yeah, for sure. It's good. Like I said, he probably won't be able to fit those on his desk when it comes time to do that. So, all right, now is the part of the show where we give scores. Making our way to Zach's setup, he got a 79, and believe it or not, he was tied for second place. Next up was Tyler. He got a 74. Holly got a 70. Lorenzo got a 69. Colin got an 89 in first place. Prasoon got a 79, tied for second place. Sidar got a 59, and Brandon got a 74. So I mean, I think that everything was pretty dead on when it came to cable management. I'm reading Sidar's score. We both gave him 0, so I thought it was funny. I think the scores were actually really good. A lot of people got 10s in certain categories, but really what it came down to was certain categories they got really low scores, and that's what killed them. But still, even then, I think we were pretty fair. So, you know, people are still going to jump down our throat, but whatever. So yeah, that's it. So what do you guys think? Zach or Prasoon for second place? You guys can decide in the chat and in the comments. And yeah, that's it. So guys, thanks for watching this episode of Pimp My Setup, episode number 86, recorded live on March 31st, 2016. My name's Matt Philly. You can find me on Twitter at Matt Philly.
And I'm Nate Muskies. Find me everywhere at NMuskies.
See you later. Peace.